Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel for 6 things that we learned from Brighton 1, Chelsea 2. Bloody hell, was that a nervy ending to the game, and it didn't need to be. Reece James, Chelsea's captain, as much as I love this bloke, I'm going to tell you now, the petulance is pathetic. You don't need to do that, mate. You've got all the footballing ability in the world, and you've just put us under the most insane pressure to end this football match. But Chelsea get the job done. And overall, I am absolutely delighted with this Chelsea performance. If you're not yet subscribed to the George Benson football channel, now is the time to do so. And whilst you're at it, because this is the 4th win in a row, the first time since October 2022, smack a like on this video, because I'm going to say it now. Chelsea are back. We are absolutely back. The work that we've put in this game today, defensively, midfield, going forward, is magnificent. We've had VAR decisions to deal with, and we've had our captain putting us in the mud at the end of the game, but we get the job done. And this is a massive win. At the time of me recording this, the United game is basically done. They have beaten Newcastle, which means that the top 6 is in our hands. Who knows what's going to happen for Spurs against Sheffield United, but as of right now, Chelsea are in charge of securing our own European destiny to end this season on such a phenomenal high. This is massive for us, but anyway, let's get into things. So let's start by taking a little look at the Chelsea first half. Even in the opening 3 minutes, I'm delighted with what I saw. There's a shot from Danny Welbeck that takes a deflection, goes into the hands of the Brighton goalkeeper. But in the build-up to that, there's about a 30-pass move for Chelsea. We're looking comfortable in possession of the ball. Going forward, we're looking to get it forward quickly, but we're being patient. There's then a Brighton chance where Conor Gallagher has to hook a really good defensive header over the crossbar as Brighton look to come forward. There's then also a really good move after about 10 minutes. And I'm starting to think, I'm a bit worried here. Brighton are kind of playing through us a little bit. Adingra has a shot. Petrovic is rooted, and it goes just past his post. But after this is where Chelsea begin to take some serious control of the game. We're looking comfortable in the middle of the park. The centre-backs, Badiashile, Chalobah, they're more than happy to make a pass forward, but they're waiting for Brighton players to commit the press to be able to make an easier pass through the Brighton team. And then Caicedo, as we've seen him in recent weeks, always looking to turn, carry the ball forwards, and then drive it forward as Gallagher goes forward to try and join the attack. Cucurella obviously inverting too. The lineup is exactly what I said I wanted it to be. There is then a chance where there's a penalty given to Chelsea for a foul on Marc Cucurella. And to be honest, I'm not going to sit here and say it should have been a penalty. It shouldn't have. The referee gives a pen, goes to the screen, and then somehow, after going to the screen, he makes the correct call. It's not a penalty, but it should be a corner. So if you're going to use video assistant referee, if VAR is going to be a thing, which Premier League clubs, I think Wolves today have gone to the Premier League saying, we want to scrap this. I say credit to Steve Bull. We should all be signing it. Get rid of it. Bring the fun back to our sport. Bring the fun back to football. The referee somehow doesn't see that it is a corner. If it's not a penalty, it's a clear corner for Chelsea, and he gives a drop ball to Brighton. What is the point in the officials in this league? They've got technology to help them, and yet even with the technology, they do nothing but make the incorrect decisions. There's then a chance for Malo Gusto, takes a deflection, really good save from the Brighton goalkeeper, but then the moment of the first half, the best of the lot. If we can talk and sit here about scrapping VAR and how rubbish the officiating is, let's just enjoy the beautiful Cole Palmer header. Is there anything that this man cannot do? It was a perfect header, looping over the goalkeeper into the far post, but the whole goal is beautiful from Chelsea. You see Cucurella taking a more natural position on the left-hand side. Mudryk drifts inside, gets the ball, gives it to Gallagher. First time pass to Cucurella, who's already made that run. He knows he's got the space now on that left-hand side, flicks a beautiful ball in. Cole Palmer makes the near post run, and it is such a sumptuous, perfect header from Cole Palmer to give Chelsea the lead. And that is exactly what we deserve. We were controlling the game, getting forward, and it was just that opening that we needed. Then there is the second biggest talking point of that first half, as Tariq Lamptey borderline assaults Mykhailo Mudryk to the point where he goes off with a concussion. But according to that bloody video assistant referee robot nonsensical idiot. There's no clear evidence, apparently. The bloke has to go off with a flipping concussion. Like, what? How is there no clear evidence? He goes across his neck. He's got a flipping... Tariq Lamptey's elbow is stuck in Mudrik's neck right now in a hospital somewhere. Exaggerating, I know. But at the end of the day, it's at minimum a strong yellow card. The fact I even have to say a strong yellow card is a joke. He should be sent off. And then a couple of minutes later, we've got yet another VAR decision as Nicholas Jackson scores what I think is a great header. None of the replays will show you that he pushed Tariq Lamptey, but we're led to believe there was a push on Tariq Lamptey after a beautiful cross from Badiashile. Jackson nods in a header again, and it is disallowed for a push on a man that it didn't even look to me like he pushed him, but the same bloke that can assault the Chelsea winger gets a little touch in the back from a striker who's clearly taller than him, and it's a foul. No goal for Chelsea. It's a disgrace. The video assistant referee, every single Premier League club, for the integrity and beauty of what is Premier League football, should be scrapping this at the first available opportunity. Vote for it, and I swear, it's an actual joke at this point. The levels of officiating in this country have gone beyond a disaster. Chelsea going at halftime 1-0 up. Pedro hits the crossbar just before half-time, but we're laughing. We're doing well. They should have 10 men, but we should be 2-0 up, but at least we're winning. And then the second half begins, and wow, Brighton come out firing at the beginning of that second half, giving Chelsea multiple issues, but guess who was there once again to get all the blocks in? It's Trevoh Chalobah, Chelsea's man at the back. He's been bought in towards the end of this season. Not everybody, but people at the club seem to want to get rid of this guy at any given opportunity. 2 massive tackles, 1 huge block at the beginning of that second half, and it keeps Chelsea in the lead. There's then a moment where Nicholas Jackson is through on goal, and all he's got to do is square it to Palmer, square it to Nkunku, who is free in on goal throughout. It's literally like we had a whole eternity to see Jackson pass that ball in. I'm hyped up, by the way, because the ending of that game was absolutely killing me. Jackson doesn't square it, and in the end, it's still 1-0 to Chelsea. But lo and behold, that Christopher Nkunku balloon celebration comes into fruition, and we see it finally. This man is as mercurial, world-class, as we first thought he would be. And it's a brilliant goal. Noni Madueke does such a great job shielding the ball, gives it to Gusto, who bombs down that right-hand side, cuts the ball back with precision, and it is a sublime, sumptuous, stunning finish from Christopher Nkunku to make it 2-0 to Chelsea. From that point, we looked comfortable. We looked fantastic until Reece James has that moment of pure stupidity and madness. Look, I'm fuming with him, but I'm not going to let that overshadow the overall brilliance of this Chelsea performance. Danny Welbeck scores a late goal. He always scores against Chelsea. I think that's 3 in his last 4 now against us. But we hold on at the very end. I'm going to say credit to Brighton. They played very well. This is a very competitive game of Premier League football. But box number 1 is a green for the magician, for the majestic, for the magnificent, marvellous. There's 4 for you. Cole Palmer, the first goal. The man can score headers too. We saw he can score. He can hit free kicks that come off the bar, and Jackson nods it in. Now Palmer scores headers. It's a fantastic Chelsea goal. The way that Mudryk goes inside a little bit, which means that Cucurella has now got that left side as much as he's inverting centrally. Cucurella then uses his intelligence to go on the left. Gallagher's there for the Mudryk pass. Gallagher puts it in, and then the cross is brilliant, and it is such a great header from Cole Palmer. It's magnificent. And if he can keep doing that, look, the guy can do everything. 22 league goals now for the season. Box number 2 is for the man who assisted him, Marc Cucurella. What a cross that was. And what a defensive performance today, by the way, also from Marc Cucurella. I thought he was magnificent. You can say all we want about, tactically, when Cucurella inverts, we look so great and confident and comfortable as a team. But even when he's back in the natural left-back position, when Brighton are attacking, he's putting in the tackles, getting the clearances in, and he looks sharp. All of these Chelsea players right now look so sharp, and I wish it was the start of the season. Box number 3, it should be a blue really, but I've given a green to Trevoh Chalobah. This guy really is magnificent. He's so good. Tackle after tackle, block after block. And I just really don't want Chelsea to sell him. If there was a world where we could afford to keep Trev and Gallagher, I don't think both of them are going to be able to stay. I think, obviously, Todd Boehly has come out and spoken today in Qatar, and I'm going to go through his comments in a later video tomorrow. But I think Trev's going to probably be sold, and I just don't want this to happen. I think he's such a great centre-back. What an end to the season he's had. Box number 4 is for Christopher Nkunku. This guy's all-round performance today, his all-round game was stunning. And that celebration, we have been waiting for this. We have been looking for that blue balloon coming out of Nkunku's mouth all season long. We finally get to see it, and everything he did, the shielding of the ball, the timing and the weight of the passes. And Nkunku's one of those footballers, when people talk about world-class players, one of the key things that makes a world-class player world-class is that they don't just react. The actions that they do, they see in advance. Palmer does this. He makes passes before the defense have even had a chance to figure out what he's going to do. And that's how Nkunku plays. You add a world-class player who's fit into this Chelsea team that are already firing in the second half of this season. And wow, am I excited for what we have got to come next year. Fantastic from him. Box number 5, I've given it to Caicedo. I think once again he controlled the tempo of the midfield for us. He was getting knocked about a little bit tonight too, and you can see what it means to him at the end when he's literally pointing to the sky. Moises Caicedo defies the boos, beats his old club, and gets the job done for us with another masterclass in the midfield. Brighton were good, by the way. Let's not beat around the bush here. This is a stunning Chelsea win that was tarnished by our captain in a moment of madness. But credit to Mauricio Pochettino. He is box number 6. And look, I was calling for his head a few weeks ago, and at the time, I back what I was saying. I really didn't see things changing. Tactically, he's been brilliant. Substitution-wise, brilliant. Sterling was good when he came on today too. Obviously, Nkunku was fantastic. Reece, whatever. We're not going to talk about it anymore. We're keeping things positive here because Chelsea have got European football in our hands going into the final day of the season. It couldn't get much better than this. It really couldn't. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you are new. Get in.